Hey there, comic friends. I'm Travis, and it's time to talk comics. These are comics from the week of June, 6th, I want to say? Look at the calendar. Nope, the 5th. June 5th, 2024. In no particular order, just what my thoughts are today on the books. We're going to start right off with Love Everlasting. This is issue number 15. I am told that creators have said that this is the potentially the final issue. They don't know if there'll be any more issues. So I would assume that must mean that sales have dropped off in the book. And with this kind of being the ending, it pretty much sums up my ride with this book. I love the art. I think they spent too much time on the gag of dying and starting over again. And I just don't. What's the point? It feels like there should be a point in here somewhere. The why. I mean, this issue we get some more people that are behind the curtain, but no why as to that thing. Not really. I'm making you do this because I couldn't. I don't know. But it was it has all the elements that I got quickly tired of. It's like, okay, we can just. It's in the back here. It says to be continued in a little while. And by and large starts the whole sequence over again. And so I don't know. If it comes back, chances of me getting it, I don't know. Depends if they can tell me it's going to be this many more issues and it's done, and then maybe I'll pick it up. But by and large, over the whole of the series, I I don't care for the story. I feel like I kind of wasted our time in places. It feels to me like so. Yeah. Now my other half thinks it's great, enjoys the heck out of it. So there you go. Just my opinion on it. Amazing art. Lane, she does awesome work. I really like her work. Hollingsworth, awesome colorist, obviously. But yeah. Do Okay, so here we got a new number one from Boom Studios. This is Profane. It's a noir book. I love the covers. The covers of these are all really cool. The inside art is by Raul Fernandez. This is a Peter Milligan written book. I usually try all the Peter Milligan books. As I'm reading this, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, they are the cliches in it are almost too much. And as I'm reading, I'm thinking there's got to be something wrong because it's too on the nose, paint by numbers, sort of a gumshoey thing in a lot of ways. There are some interesting elements. Our detective, Profane, his last name is Profane. All the characters' names are illiterate. That's the first thing to kind of like, seriously? So he uses some mystic arts to kind of scry to see, what's going on, what the future is, or whatever. And so that's kind of interesting. By the end of it, it's cool. By the end of it's cool because you find out some elements that explain why it is so. I almost want to say amateur hour noir story. Just looking at. Well, I guess they're not. They're not illiterate. They just feel like it. William Profane. Let's see. There's a character named Honor in here. Honor Death, and it's just all of the names in here. The bad guy's name is the Red Glove. Let's see here. Moose Mitchum. They all have they all have these names, but good art. So by the end of it, like I said, by the end of it, there's a catch at the end of it that makes it interesting. I think it's only like 5 issues. I'm clearly going to get it when something's 5 issues and I've got the number 1. Unless it's terrible. Chances are I'm getting the rest of them because the way I have to order, I'm already ordered up to number 3 before I read number 1. So, but I'm curious. Like I said, the end of it has a Profane finds out kind of more about, because he can't remember a lot about his, got a huge gap in his memory, and filling that in is pretty potentially really interesting. So I'm curious to see if the storytelling, what that's going to be. That's a weird. Is that not a weird font for the title? I mean, it's slowly, right? Oh, because it's slowly getting smaller, like it's going away. I don't know. Little things sometimes. Oh, Precious Metal. Precious Metal issue number 1. This is a prequel to Little Bird, which came out, I want to say, almost like 5 years ago, by Darcy Van Pulgis and Ian Burcham. Matt Hollingsworth coloring another book. This thing is massive. It's got to be double size, at least 48 pages and whatnot. And this is set 35 years in the past. So it's supposed to set up some of the Little Bird stuff. Other than having read Little Bird, know the look and the vibe and some of the religious aspects of it, and the fact that's kind of on the Canadian U.S. border. So we got some interesting stuff that implied there. I wouldn't know that this has anything to do with the Little Bird thing at all. So if you haven't read the Little Bird, you could still pick this up and enjoy some awesome Ian Bertram art, and some great storytelling, and not worry about the Little Bird thing. We'll see how this goes as far as it being a sequel, not a sequel, a prequel. Use the right word. I always think that's hard to do because we know what the future holds. So no surprises as far as that aspect of it goes, but that doesn't mean that there aren't surprises in the telling to get us there. Obviously, a book that pulls that off really well is like Stray Bullets. There's that book is told all across the timeline. We know how it ends, and then they went on to tell lots and lots more stories of the stuff that happened in between. Still compelling, still gripping, and whatnot. So we know it can be done. But this is just leaves. There's a simple plot to the basics of it. We've got a bounty hunter, sort of a dude. Doesn't particularly like working for the people he works for, but he doesn't like being miserable either. As far as what else is he gonna do? So he does his work. And in this case, he does the work. He experiences something with someone that he is snatching up, and that changes his outlook on some things, and sends him off on an adventure to rescue or try to understand the person that he's snatching up has some telepathic ability, awakens something in him. He wants to know more of what that is. Was it a religious experience? What was it? And the only reason I bring up was it a religious experience because there are zealots in this thing. And we get to see some of them, the 12 gods or the 12th or something like that's what they're called. And they clearly are a death cult, it seems, or do not care about death along the way to get what they need, is intermixed with this. Plus, who knows what else. But yeah, there's body modifications in it. That's why the guy's got the arm that's all tentacles. He's been modded. He's kind of hooked up with somebody who does that sort of work. But like I said, the art is Ian Bertram is just some good stuff. Would love to own some pages of this. I own some pages of the House of Penance, which is awesome. The way Ian Bertram works is pretty cool. if you happen to have Instagram, check him on Instagram. He'll show you some process sometimes. He just did a Batman cover for like Batman, and the piece of art is probably 5 foot tall. He just grabs giant chunks of paper and works on them. So, but yeah, anyway, so he has snatched up. He has stole this kid that he was supposed to retrieve for somebody, and he has ran off with them, trying to figure out what has gone on. Because he when the kid is exposed, the child does some graphic stuff to some people, but it exposes him to a ocean and a ship, and he just wants to know what all that is. So very excited about that. Like I said, this first issue was massive in thickness. I mean, look at that. That's just a cityscape. Yes. Very cool stuff. Everything I wanted it to be. So looking forward to what is next for this book, just because I know it's going to be gorgeous to look at. Give us something to think about, too. Birds of Prey, issue number 10. We continue to hop across little universes. We do find out in this issue they're pocket universes, and whoever steps through the portal first kind of sets the flavor of what the universe will look like. Barda was the one that stepped through this one, so everything's got kind of a 1950s vibe to it. Amongst their battling, we find out some interesting stuff as to why Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, is the focus of this thing. Because there's a person in this, there's a couple people in this, in these realms who are actually part of the realms. In a sense, we kind of get their backstory and find out that they're actually technically, the stuff that happens is in the future, and the Birds of Prey are going to pay for it now. I just dig the book. It looks great. Julie Blair's colors, doesn't matter what artist is working on the book, it has a consistency based on the colors that she uses and how she applies those colors. Kelly Thompson writes a good romp of a book, and so it's just been really fun. Really been enjoying the heck out of it. Kaya, issue number 19. This is one of our in-between arc issues. I think it's going to be quite a while before the next arc, but we're definitely getting the next arc. This issue was really, really cool. It's kind of set in the near future. There are characters who are not in the issue that we're used to seeing and whatnot. Kaya's arm is obviously changed in some sense. She is out with a band of brothers, sailing the seas and freeing slaves. That's strictly what she is doing, and working to do more and more of that. And it's a really enjoyable and really cool issue. And it, because of what's going on and who's not there and whatnot, it makes it an exciting book because it sets up lots of questions about where is the comic going, where is the series going, what's happening. This is such a brilliant adventure action comic that I know quite a few of you are reading and whatnot. I just never see the larger comic book universe talking about the book in the way that I think they should. Now, mind you, that may be enlarged that my own social media, I've backed off from places and not in all the places that I used to be, as far as that goes. And so maybe that's not why I'm seeing it. But man, the book is so good. Buy all those trades, get yourself caught up on the trades, so you're ready for the next arc. Jump on the next arc in single issues. You won't. I just can't imagine you'll be disappointed, because I just don't understand what, if you don't like fun and just cool, wild stuff going on, I guess this isn't the comic for you. But yeah, just really great. Wes Craig is just a masterful visual storyteller. He can take some basic ideas and make them just next level. And so really good stuff. Okay, so issue number 23 of Poison Ivy. This issue issue, I think we finally settled the Woodrow stuff. Maybe finally killed everything off. Last two issues have kind of felt like they've started to sputter to some degree. I'm ready for this story in particular to be done. I like the characters that are involved and whatnot. There is a good moment, I think, with Janet from HR. Just kind of I thought maybe this would be a moment where I would be one of the characters, not a secondary character in their own lives. That was some good character moments there. But I feel like to some degree the position that Ivy's in this, we've seen her in before, and it feels like it wasn't just that long ago that she thought that she was going to die and this was the end of it and whatnot. So yeah. So that aspect of, so I'm looking forward to this arc being done. Not that it's been terrible. It's just, it's kind of lost some speed or momentum for me. And I want to move on to whatever is going to be next. I want, yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing what's next. Not dropping the book or anything like that. I still really enjoy it. But in comparison to some of the last 20 or so issues we've had, to me, it's starting to slow down. This arc feels like it's been a long arc, and so looking forward to, I would assume, what comes after this, because I think it kind of resolves stuff in this issue. I want to say. Now it's been a week since I've read this, and I'm gonna look at the back of it just to jog my memory as to what it said that the end of it and implied what. Oh yeah. So I think this is possibly the end of the arc, and the next arc is recovering from what happens in this. We'll see. And finally, this last week of books I read is Bear, Pirate Viking Queen. Now, I'm reading the title that way because I keep changing how I'm reading the title. I mean, at one point I thought it was, Bear, Pirate Viking and a Queen, and then I thought it was a, Bear, Pirate, Viking, Queen was how it's supposed to be. No, those are individual things, I believe. Super love this book. Jonathan Marks, Bravecchia. Love his art, his painted stuff. Clearly his own thing, but we all make comparisons to other stuff to try and inform people about what it is, right? It has some J. John Mulliff, to me, aspects to it more than like drawing a blank on the other guy's name that some people tend to refer him to. Anyway, I really like the story in this issue. Whereas last issue felt like it kind of moved through stuff, and it felt very metaphysical in a lot of ways, and wasn't sure what was reality and what was some sort of dream state. This one, the story feels much more linear. We get told some stuff that happened in the past, but it gets told in a linear fashion. There's clearly some magic going on in here. The Viking in this is like 400 years old, would be, from when he was in London. He lived in London, and then as Romans and whoever else took over, and what became the empire of Great Britain, took the place, and he is coming back. He is coming back to his home, and we get to see his past. We get to see why he's moving forward. We get to see some interesting interactions between him and the people who are currently living in his home. My question for everyone who is reading this is: the bear really there? I've had some discussions with people in my household about last issue that the bear was more of a metaphor. The bear was actually the pirate. But clearly the last issue, the pirate went overboard. The bear is still there. There's children riding the bear at one point in this. Are they riding the bear or are they riding the Viking out of the house into the British soldiers? You know, interesting that the Queen is there and taking care of, and decided that she is going to take care of some of the business. It just really, really, really like the book. I'm intrigued by it. I like the adventure that is. I like I have to think about it. Not 100% sure what's going on, but it mostly makes sense and whatnot. I don't know. Is there one more issue? Sean Lewis? Is there one more issue? I'm trying to think of what else I know that Sean Lewis has written. I feel like there's something else. Yeah, super, super cool book. If you like books that, have some great visuals in it and, some interesting stuff, this might be for you. I really, like I said, really dug the first issue. Really, really dug this issue. I think there's one more issue I want to say. It's an oversized book. It's thicker than, all heck. So, there is that. It's a $5 book, $4.99, worth the price of admission. And that is it for this week. Did you read any of these? What'd you think? Am I wrong? Am I missing some point or whatever? Let me know. I always enjoy that. Or, of course, I always enjoy. Oh, you're completely right, Travis. You're brilliant. You've seen it all. What do you think of Love Everlasting? Anyway, that's it. I will see you all next week.